everybody? We're back for round 2 after a short turnaround. Paul Koerbel on the left. Mardu Dragons, not elves, Mardu Dragons tonight for Paul. Patrick Aguilar on the right with Grixis control. Drake Valentine, that's Adam Old drinking the Pepsi.
Hi.
I'm drinking a Gatorade. None of us are drinking Mountain Dew just yet, but soon we'll have the Mountain Dew.
I'm cleansing my palate until I can be disappointed by the various types of Mountain Dew.
We'll do that in July after I get paid. How's that?
Okay. So is this actual Dragons or is it just Mardu cards that I own?
I think it's Mardu. A little bit of both, I think.
So maybe you can tell me about the deck on the right then, because the deck on the left is Paul's a bit of a brewer.
Yes.
What's the deck on the right doing?
Just so Grixis control is just so Grixis is black, red, blue. Those are the colors that make up the Grixis shard. What Grixis control likes to do is kill things. Well, it sculpts his hand, so its red and black spells are going to be all about killing creatures, killing permanents such as planeswalkers, discarding cards from Paul's hand. Well, the blue cards are going to allow Patrick to draw cards and sculpt his hand out so he can keep doing what he wants to be doing, which is controlling Paul's side of the board. Paul, meanwhile, just wants to play a bunch of cards in the Mardu colors, which is red, black, and white. There are a good deal of dragons, I think, in Paul's deck, while also just a good deal of just Mardu cards that just happen to be a fish. You see, have to exile, lightning bolt, lingering souls. So I think it's a mix of Paul's brewing dragons and Paul's cards I own in these colors.
All right. I mean, I say Lingering Souls. I think Thunderbreak Regent, Path to Exile. So I wonder if Pat's going to be playing Young Pyromancer, I'd imagine. There's Thunderbreak Regent on the right. So 4 mana, 4/4 for 2 and 2 red, has flying, and whenever you target it, whenever a dragon, any dragon, not just Thunderbreak Regent, becomes a target of a spell or ability your opponent controls, Thunderbreak Regent deals 3 damage to that player. That's
going to be important for Paul, because Patrick's deck wants to. I mean, has the ability to counter. You see the mana leak right here. But if Paul gets to resolve it, Patrick will need to take at least 3 to deal with the card and getting it off Paul's board. So while we see a lot of counterspell in Santa control decks, we don't always see that in mono control decks, just because mono decks are so efficient that having counter magic instead of removal doesn't always line up properly for you as a player. So while Patrick was able to, for example, counter the front end of the Slinkering Souls, it has flashback, so Paul still gets to get some value off it.
It always feels bad to have to counter part of a Lingering Souls.
Here's another Lingering Soul from Paul's hand.
I don't know if I like that. I think I would just would have flashed the other one back.
Do you think Paul's a little bit worried about possible discard that Patrick's holding back, or do you think at this point, if Patrick had discarded, he would have just flat out cast it? Here's a Kolaghan's command.
So he could have actually just discarded his Lingering Souls to this one and still gotten value out of it.
Commands are part of the cycle of cards that give you the ability to do 2 out of the 4 modes. For example, in this mode, Patrick said he's going to deal 2 damage to a spirit token and make Paul discard a card. My guess is that Paul wants to be mana efficient here. He played a tap land and then wants to next turn get 4 souls or 4 mana. Someone asking us if we would be willing to trade for Jeskai control, blue control. Do you mean, Awakening, are you asking if we ourselves
Matthew, can you put the chat up on the screen too?
Or do you think it's I'm going to be able to trade for those cards?
Thank you.
Need some clarification there.
So Field of Runes is actually a very interesting card, and I've said it a couple times, one of the most impactful modern cards that have been printed in a long time.
Yes.
That's why I like Fatal Push. But it's interesting in that you have to search. You can fail to find, but you have to shuffle your deck. So if you scry or keep something on top, you actually have to shuffle it away.
I am broke, so I myself would not be up for trading. Adam...
I don't own cards.
Does not own cards.
I can pay in compliments and most likely insults. I have lots of insults to give. I'm also a salt mine.
I mean, there are Reddit threads in the Magic subreddits that are, Facebook and Reddit, your best options to go about trading decks like that. I imagine once you expand your reach, there's no shortage of people out there over the power of the internet that will be willing to trade for some of those cards and decks for you.
We'll go ahead and use the word plethora of options if you have time, basically.
A lot of lands being drawn here from Paul. We have Flashback Lingering Souls #1, and I imagine Flashback Lingering Souls #2 will shortly follow it.
So I think Lingering Souls is actually the most important card in this matchup for Paul. In that Patrick doesn't have a lot of... He has a lot of 1-for-1 removal. Are you in any sort of Facebook marketplaces? Or well, you should be in your local Facebook marketplace. But you should also... Are you in any Facebook buy-sell trade groups? I would start there.
As you mentioned, Lingering Souls is important because Patrick's removal is just 1-for-1.
Yeah, wasting a bolt on a quarter of a card feels real bad. Because main deck, he's not going to have any broad sweepers, right? He's not going to have an Anger the Gods.
Yeah. And what do you mean by quarter of a card there?
So, Lingering Souls, the front half makes 2 tokens. The flashback half makes 4 tokens. So the entire card itself makes 4 tokens total. Using a... So, in Magic, you talk about resources. So when you say 1-for-1, I am lightning bolting your one creature, right? It's a physical card for a card. In this instance, Patrick traded his lightning bolt, which is an efficient card at 1 mana, for 1/4 of the card that Paul used. So he killed one fourth of the spirit tokens for 1.
Correct. And then off Paul's 1 card Lingering Souls, so he got 4 tokens off it.
Correct. So as it stands, so it's actually a good move by Paul.
So can you explain what Paul just did there?
So any sort of activated ability, it has a colon in Magic. So all the fetch lands say tap, sack. That is an ability that you can respond to, right? So what Paul did is he responded to Pat fetching, so he didn't have the 4th man out, so he couldn't crypt the command per se, and killed the young Pyromancer before Patrick had could find his land, which is smart because it kept him off 4 mana to play Cryptic Command.
Assuming Patrick had 4 the Cryptic in hand.
Correct. I think it just helped. That didn't really do anything to fuel this, but...
You just like it because it's making Patrick have the answer or a way to get value off the Pyromancer right there without him.
Correct, yeah. Because when you play Young Pyromancer, a 2/1 for 2 mana is not very good. Right? The entire idea that you play with that card is that you get quote-unquote value, right? So you don't want to play your Pyromancer until you can play a spell and get a token out of it, unless you absolutely have to. In this instance, Patrick is kind of... He's being pigeonhorned, shoehorned into getting some type of board. Because right now, Patrick doesn't have a board. He's going to get beaten to death by 2 tokens that fly.
Thank you, Elacorte21 for the follow. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. So what happened there was Paul was able to kill the Pyromancer before he got any value. And then he was able to cast a spell called Path to Exile on Tassiker, which means it is exiled. And Patrick first troubles gets to search up a basic land, but more importantly, this Tassiker is exiled, and that means it's removed from the game.
So for those of you that are wondering, that's just a pretty version of Thunderbreak Regent. That's the same card that we had up on the screen earlier.
The one nice thing about playing Magic on paper is that you have so many different versions of the cards you can get. This is a...
Oh, you have them online too. They're just different colors.
Yeah. But it's not the same thing. This Thunderbreak Regent you won by top 8ing a game day. It is full art, and it is foil, and has different artwork too.
Can you bring up the full art one, maybe?
Lots of people like to bling out their decks when they play Magic. They like to get Mike Farrell likes to get the expeditions and the promos of every card. Adds a little bit.
Jake, your food is here.
I'll be right back.
All right, I'm gonna be by myself for a minute because Jake's food was so fast. It was freaky. All right, so again, Patrick, I'm not really sure what Patrick can do to get back in this game. He needed that Pyromancer to stick, or he needed Tasker as a threat. He doesn't have a Gurmbag Angler right now. Paul should just jam Thunderbreak. Oh, we got another Durgan. There's another promo. Holy cow. 9. Oh, he dealt with the Thunderbreak region. I'm see. He countered it, yeah.
That's a Glory Bringer promo.
Jake did order Jimmy John's. I have to sit here while he masticates his food. So that's looking like... All right, he's going to go with the forget that Paul knows how to play Magic. Which, in all fairness...
Oh, Cryptic Command.
Nice.
It was a card you mentioned earlier.
Nice.
Cryptic Command, another command. Has 4 abilities. You
And
choose 2
mind
of
you,
those.
Paul did the absolute correct thing there, right? I probably just would have kept that. Oh, man. Well, actually, yeah, it turned out it worked, but I would have held that because Patrick's at 4, Stormbreath Dragon has haste. Like, you have lethal on board. You don't need to over-lethal your opponent, right?
Exactly, yeah.
To not take lethal, Patrick has to have 2 cards.
Yeah. We have someone asking if Glorybringer's button playable. Here it is Paul and his Glorybringer. That's game one.
This is cube. I told you, Paul's a brewer.
Yes.
Traditionally, Glorybringers. I mean, it depends. Define playable, right?
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, it does what Paul wants to do. It's a dragon, so it meshes well with the dragons. It's Thunder Break. It has haste, and it deals lots of damage in the air.
And it's in the colors you can play.
Exactly. Let's bring it back here for a quick second while these players shuffle up and sideboard
because we need to see.
So, we mentioned fast food earlier. No one was unfortunately able to bring us some Taco Bell tonight. However, the good people of Jimmy John's were freaky fast and gave me the gargantuan sub. This is me in sub form. And it's important to make sure you know where to want to eat when you're playing Magic, because when you're playing like a big event,
it's not even toasted.
No, Jimmy John's isn't toast.
You're savage.
But they deliver it. That's all I care about. It's not Penn Station. Penn Station is top tier.
I live right next to Penn Station. It's delicious.
This is the gargantuan. It's got literally just meat and cheese. There's some honey mustard, or sorry, Dijon mustard on it too. Some mayo. And
did you ask for no vegetables?
Correct, no vegetables. Jimmy
Jake.
John's is the sub place.
And he ate Honey Smacks for lunch.
I ate Honey Smacks, which may or not have something else. But this is important because the pre is coming up soon, and if you want to be efficient with your lunches or dinners when you're playing Magic, you need to know where to go.
Or if you're like coronary problems, you should follow Jake on Twitter at Hopeless Frey.
Just HOP3LESS.
Hopeless. Okay, at Hopeless. And I'm not spelling it. Jake has a special place in Cincinnati Magic's hearts as a connoisseur of fine dining. So if you'd like to follow him on the Twitter and you like tweeting,
I'm posting a picture of a pizza I had over the weekend.
Yeah, so get on his Twitter
pizza.
And make sure that you always tag things with hashtag Jake Valentine Foodie Tour. Fine dining, correct? Yeah. If you'd like to know at every 1.5 star greasy spoon in the city, just ask Jake.
Well, the problem with Jimmy John's is, well, they do deliver, and their cold cuts are of decent quality.
I can't believe we're watching you eat your sandwich on stream.
The sub itself is not toasted, and that's really...
So Jake Valentine's the high version of Hunter Nance?
It's really detrimental.
Hunter Nance,
like, even toasting Subway makes Subway go from garbage quality to passable.
Hunter Nance has to be one of my favorite personalities on Facebook, because him and this guy named Isaiah that lives locally here too.
Everyone on Facebook?
I don't know. I'm actually not his friend on Facebook. He's just Isaiah's friend.
I think I played Hunter at Grand Prix Columbus.
Yeah?
He beat me and I went, you know what? I just want to drop and get drunk.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
But
so Jimmy John's is great, but if you have Penn Station, man, Penn Station is so much better.
Penn Station's much better.
Penn Station is top tier.
Like, I like Jimmy John's. It's the bread. The bread's pretty good. It'd be better if it's toasted, but... So if we get a hashtag amen, we'll just have Jake eat on camera instead of broadcasting Magic for the rest of the night. Anybody? Anybody?
All right, so let's bring it back. I'm also dealing with some pizzeria pretzel combos as my side off.
Are you going to take Jeff Hoogland's little spiel of, we're not currently sparred to buy him, but we can't be.
I mean, yeah, we got Gatorade right here. I mean, Gatorade's electrolytes. Yeah, right. It's what plants crave.
Right.
Let's bring it back to game number 2 between those two players.
So I wonder what the average life expectancy of Magic players is.
Not long, I imagine.
Thank God.
I do want to point out, though, if anyone's ever in Cincinnati and they want to know where to eat, just let me know. I will legitimately hook you up. There's some really good places down in OTR. New down called
OTR is great. If you come to Cincinnati to play Magic, just don't play Magic. Just go downtown to eat.
Yes. You want tacos?
Hashtag no edibles.
Don't go to Bakersfield. Go to Django's Tacos in Northside.
Yeah.
Or is it Condados that just opened up in the bank?
Look, I already told you. Stop making up words. Jay tries to eat all this fancy.
No, Condados was in Columbus. Fancy.
Just follow him on the tweeter.
Condado tacos. It'll
quote to you. Gator's just actual sugar water. No, you weren't. I don't know if you guys are old enough to experience like old Gatorade, because Gatorade was actually invented and used at the University of Florida a couple decades ago, and it was horrible. It was just a basic way to get electrolytes and salt back into the players. It was so gross.
But, do you remember All Sport?
Yeah.
For those that don't know what All Sport is, All Sport was a carbonated sports drink.
So, Pat kind of joking around about Paul leads off with the faithless looting. And Pat's like, discard 2 faithless lootings. Well, that was fun. He's out of here because, I mean, not faithless lootings, but lingering souls, because again, his deck has difficulty dealing with that flashback card. Because also you can just play one half of it and then wait till later in the game and just get the other half of it. Make him. The idea with cards like that is you're not trying to kill your opponent right away, because you're not really an aggro deck. You can flash it back at a later point after your opponent wastes all the removal.
One balance. I will tell you the first time and only time I had All Sport, I was playing soccer. I was completely exhausted. I was like, all right.
Ooh, that's a hitter. Pat with the Search for Ascana.
Take the sports drink, we swig it, and go, what in tarnation is this foul device?
I don't even like Powerade.
Powerade tasted Gatorade.
So when I was at Ohio State, we actually had fountains of Gatorade, all you can drink. It was fantastic. We're actually also whatever company makes something Labs makes Pedialites. So at practice we would have as many as you wanted. Pedialite popsicles, like the ices. Subway is fantastic.
Subway is garbage.
Subway.
Kareem, no, I'm not drunk. I'm just eating Jimmy John's, talking about how awful All Sport is.
I wish I was drunk at this point. It'd make this more tolerable. Subway is delicious. The value of a $5 footlong. Oh my God.
No. So,
look, they have wraps now. You can get breakfast. I can get a salad.
Why would you ever go to Subway? We can just get Jimmy John's delivered, or you can get Penn Station.
Because I have pride. I like to leave my house at least once a day. You get pizza at Subway. Ooh.
No.
You know what you could use to get pizza at McDonald's?
The McPizza.
Oh my God. Oh.
Which I noticed the other day. If you haven't had the new quarter-pound yet from McDonald's, you need to get it, because it is just straight gas.
But I just go to Marconi's, which is an Italian restaurant in Sandusky. I like Sandusky. One of my dad's friends coaches football. He used to coach football at Sandusky High School, home of Orlando Pace. But I'm dating myself, and none of you know about sports ball, anyways. So, did he go to Cedar Point though? That's the question.
Why else did you go to Sandusky?
Cedar Point.
That's it.
If you live there, I'd imagine you try to go there.
So now what's actually going on here, which is to Patrick's advantage, as the control deck key is A-OK.
How do you feel about Quiznos?
I miss Quiznos. Quiznos was not healthy in any way, shape, or form. Quiznos was just...
Like, Subway's my go-to.
To clog your arteries as fast as possible.
Subway's my go-to, but I prefer Penn Station. But Penn Station is just for rich people.
What do you mean?
Rich people.
This is the same cost as a Penn Station sub.
Yeah, but it's so fast that I freaked. It's freaky fast food.
But it's not Penn Station.
Subway and Jimmy John's are both terrible. JJ's is just literally plain white bread, the lowest quality ingredients possible.
Someone saying Jersey Mike's is the best, hands down. That is incorrect.
Oh, the Great American. Ooh, Wawa. All right, we got some East Coast. All right, we got some East Coast there.
My biggest regret.
I got some family that lives in Pennsylvania.
So you mentioned Wawa, but how do you feel about Sheets?
I have no idea what that is.
Same concept. Only Sheets is like a devoted following.
Sheeple? Ah, the Wawa. All right, I'm with you. The Wawa. We used to go to Philly to visit my Italian side of the family. The best part about going there was getting tasty cakes before tasty cakes were like nationwide. We'd come back with like boxes and boxes. Tubbies of Blimpies. Nah, Blimpies is get out of here. We had Blimpies when I went up to visit my brother a couple months ago.
Can we just agree on one thing?
What's that?
Fazoli's is garbage.
Diamond Dave DeSantis. No, that was Carrabba's. I'm sorry.
Remote Eye, let me ask you, do you miss Skylines? It used to be in Cincinnati. Do you miss Skyline?
Making a good sandwich. Yeah, but you know what's better than making a good sandwich? Having somebody else make one for you. So, why do I eat fast food out? Like, I can make chicken nuggets at home, right? I can even pick the chicken. Jake is just masticating the shit. Like, literally, he has... Can we bring the camera back here for a second? He has several... This is just several inches of meat. Turn it more. Like, turn it to like, do you see this? This is just meat. There's not even bread. Like, his parents should be ashamed. Can we get your mother in here?
So, Remote,
okay, we go back.
It was probably because for the longest time the Reds played.
No, there is a Skyline. There is Skylines down there because of retirees and that are from Cincinnati went there.
And the Reds, too.
Yeah.
And that's why there's Skylines out in Goodyear, Arizona.
Oh, so we're spreading terrible, terrible fake chili.
Skyline is amazing.
Well, it seems like this game is going Pat's way. Sorry, there's just... In control mirrors, it's usually just... I don't really think Paul's the control
No,
tech.
he's not. He's just not seeing anything. That's the problem.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, one away. You've never tried Subway.
Don't eat it.
Oh, you should. Subway's
great.
so good. You know what you should eat instead? You should eat Smacks for lunch and then 3 inches of meat for dinner. Jake's choking on a sandwich. Can we get the boy back here? Boy, do you know CPR? That looks bad.
It's amazing.
Have you seen what a heart attack looks like?
I'll show you a heart attack. You should see.
How much extra do you have to pay for the extra inch of meat? Yes, I know CPR. Magic cards, magic shops. Yeah, so I've moved around the country quite a few times, and it's very hard to find another good magic store.
So, I'm glad you mentioned Chipotle, because I hate Chipotle.
I'm glad this is a food stream. Can we just turn off the magic?
So, in Cincinnati, we are blessed enough to, we have Chipotle.
All right, actually, no, we'll go to this. Can I get
gas?
Can I get your top 5 rankings
Someone put a on
of food in a burrito form? It doesn't have to be Mexican.
Corrido.
What's Corrido?
Corrido is a burrito place where you can get literally whatever you want. So when I go to Corrido,
can I get dog?
I can get a bowl or a burrito.
Can I get a Nintendo
steak,
Switch?
Teriyaki, peanut sauce, cilantro rice. I get kale, rice noodles, and cheese.
Okay. I can't wait till you're fatter than me.
Someone asking, who was it to ask?
Rusty
Saget.
Bucket's pretty good.
Are you saying about Rusty Bucket, or are you talking about Corrido Saget? Matthew Midier, you are 15 years old. Corrido is absolutely amazing. Also, at Corrido, you can get a Nutella smoothie.
That sounds absolutely disgusting.
It is delicious.
Oh, God. We have no standards. If you're from Ohio, you have no standards. I'm glad I live in Ohio.
Also, can we agree that Taco Bell is like top tier fast food?
Taco Bell's God tier.
Yeah.
If they brought back the 90s decorations that keep being posted on Facebook.
Do you want to know what my go-to Taco Bell order is currently?
What is it?
Hold on. Because give me the Harbor.
Ooh.
I got counted. Nikki, so much of that. The stainless steel counters.
That wasn't a hearing. I wonder if it has any spice to get. The Chum Bucket is the best restaurant. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Congratulations, Tistrak. Welcome to the Modern Club Apollo 1. Good luck with all your roulette randomness. Teddy, you are wrong. It is not trash. So here's my most recent and favorite Taco Bell order.
Do you know about chili cheese burritos?
Yes.
They're not on the menu, but those are the actual.
They're hidden.
What?
They're hidden. There's a website that tells you if they can.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The stackers were absolutely amazing. So here's my current.
I guess I scrap. I'm a pretty big guy, so it's a lot of effort to like actually get on the ground to scrap food.
Here's my current favorite order. I get
because you like Mexican food. Taco Bell. We understand Taco Bell is not Mexican food, although it does encourage you to run to the border, or that's what it used to do.
So here is my current chalupa box. It costs $8. It's a chalupa supreme. No lettuce, no tomato, no sour cream. We add steak, Fritos, creamy jalapeno, and potatoes. We got the Doritos Locos Nacho Taco. We get a fire lid burrito, no sour cream, no cheese sauce. Add chicken, add Fritos.
Yeah, like people must hate you at restaurants. Like seriously. I want the same, but I'll have different. I don't think so. We used to do that in high school. We used to go out to eat in football in high school, and without a doubt, like we'd sit at a table like 10 offensive linemen, and there'd be a couple guys at the table that go, "Oh, the same thing, but," and then completely change their order. You're that guy,
Rodrigo. Welcome to Magic.
That order sounds.
Tuning in. If you look at me, knows you are wrong and incorrect.
Rodrigo, welcome to Magic, but this is a food stream now. Jake, you need to eat lettuce.
So, one balance.
Actually, lettuce is just water, but like
I don't drink water.
You don't drink water.
I am a very peculiar piggy eater.
How do you live?
I don't really eat fruits and vegetables or drink water.
How do you live?
Having said that, I will crush some like tripe or beef tongue.
Tripe?
Tripe.
Tripe?
Yeah, stomach lining.
So how do you get by with not eating vegetables? Have you ever been to a doctor?
Yeah.
Are you dying right now?
No.
I mean, we're all dying right now, so you're a liar, first of all.
I have a clean bill of health.
Raising Cane's is fantastic.
No. Cane's is good until you have Zaxby's.
Zaxby's is more of a southern thing.
Yes. There is a Slim Chickens here, though.
What?
Slim Chickens.
Yeah, but their portions are so small.
Yeah, but you get $5 chicken and waffles on Wednesday.
Yeah. If their chicken and waffles are pretty good.
Not as good as taste of Belgian chicken and waffles, though. Zaxby's is way better. The Zax sauce is so good. I say with a full mouth.
I actually started cooking. Billy, how old are you, Billy?
So, Paul is going to exert Glory Brayer, deal 4 damage to Tasigur, and then both Tasigur are going to kill it. And even though Pat spent all this time keeping Paul's board state clear, Paul's hanging in there.
All right, 27.
One balance, it's a texture problem. I love the flavor of vegetables, but just the texture just gets me every time.
You know you can cook them, right?
I'll eat like raw spinach. I'll eat like raw bitter greens, but if you cook them, I can't eat them.
Have you ever had peppers, like cooked peppers?
Yeah.
Cooked peppers amazing.
I'll eat those.
Do you like broccoli?
I'll eat the tops.
Do you like Brussels sprouts?
Absolutely not.
Do you like asparagus?
Absolutely not. I hate the smell of asparagus.
All right, so we've arrived at Jake's gonna die. Before, how old are you? You're 30 now, right?
31.
Is Jake?
I cook too. I cook really well.
Is Jake gonna live past 33?
Yes.
I hope I don't.
I hope. I hope I live longer than all y'all.
I don't want to. I actually turned 35 in like 2 weeks. I turned 35 in 8 days. I hope to not make it that long.
Come on, don't say that.
I turned 25 in,
No, you don't.
in 2 decades, huh? You're a 5-year-old? Oh, wow. 2 decades, huh, Matthew? Yeah, well, Paul's always happy to give his deck list. Jake will make sure it's on my top deck.
Yeah, catch the card. We'll put it on topdeckproductions.com.
Oh, bacon. No, you can do lots of stuff like balsamic glazes on asparagus.
Asparagus, it just smells so bad.
Yeah, but you're not cooking it right, man.
Did Paul win that game?
No.
Well, we back here then. Did Paul win?
Because we're at game 3. He got Paul played a Thunderbreak Regent, had a land in hand, and Patrick had 7 cards and like 6 of them removal.
Why are we back here? I'm still eating this.
What? You're ashamed now? Look how much of this he still has left. It's because he won't shut up and eat.
Exactly. I'm trying to talk to the people.
Why would he possibly talk about Magic during the rounds and wait to eat when you could just eat during the match? I mean,
asparagus does not smell good. It smells terrible.
It makes your urine smell bad.
No.
You know who won that game? Jimmy Johns. Plug. Look. Do we have to put that thing up on the social eating on Twitch?
What?
The social eating banner, because you can't just. It used to be you couldn't actually just sit there and eat on Twitch. You had to put up whatever. What's the word for it? The Japanese word for it?
I don't know.
Anybody out there?
What do you mean you could eat on Twitch?
You couldn't just eat food on Twitch and stream it. You actually.
I kind of miss Quiznos, but I also kind of don't. Penn Station's so much better. Quiznos was good when it was the only place around that would toast their subs. But just Penn Station is. What are you doing?
It's so fast, it's freaky. I'm trying to get a plug. What? We're gonna eat trash tier subs.
I have to think. All 104 of you people.
Mukbang, yeah, mukbang. There you go, mukbang.
Someone saying that Jimmy John's bags are as bland as their food.
Taste it.
Oh, not metals. I do want to point out, though, that it's really annoying that Taco Bell's commercials always have these, you know, white bags. And you never get the white bags from Taco Bell. Is that the word?
No, it's mukbang or whatever.
Mukbang?
Mukbang, yeah.
So, speaking of Japanese, before we go to game 3, you love Persona 5, correct?
I do.
I have just started Persona 5.
You got to start playing. You got to play more. Quit your job. I'm like, I think I got to my 4th playthrough of it.
Your 4th playthrough?
Yeah. All right.
I think Magic is being played.
Magic's being played. We'll talk about Persona and why Jake needs to pick a waifu quicker.
There we go.
When we come back.
Applebee's is trash, but man, it's really cheap trash. The Applebee's near us closed.
Sorry, what?
The Applebee's near us closed.
Did it?
Yeah. It was on Mason Montgomery, now close, across the street from Waffle House.
Really?
But I mean, Waffle House is an amazing place, and if you do not agree with me, that you're wrong.
Waffle House is God's tier. What about IHOB? How do you feel about IHOB? Has anybody ate at IHOB before?
I just love that they did that.
It's like this is how much replay about. Persona 5 has immense replay value because
I want to point out that I'm 5-6 hours in, so let's
if you get your social links high enough with your characters, you get an item. There's a post game. You get items from them. It helps you build social links with those characters the next time through, so you don't have to waste as much time. Also, if you beat it on hard, you unlock another tier of difficulty, which is very fun.
Here's a question from somebody. What's a good place? I mean, ultimately, Devil, what are you looking to get out of your dining experience? Do you want to just spend as little money as possible and go like Waffle House?
I like Piatas.
Piatas, okay.
Is that a Rakdos return? Ooh. Ooh. That's never going to resolve it. IHOB.
Devil, where are you
Denmark.
located?
What do you have in Denmark?
Good food, probably.
Not fat Americans.
You know, they don't have... Wait, no. Denmark does have a
Trump
team
as president. What?
in the World Cup.
I'm sorry, what?
That's right. Netherlands has no World Cup team right now. Denmark doesn't.
We don't either, right?
No, but we suck at soccer already, so...
We have all these fantastic athletes,
Yeah,
but
Devils.
nobody in the United
live,
States,
but I'll
nobody
help
in the United States that's actually a very good athlete is incentivized to play soccer.
Nope.
Because they can just make more money doing other sports. If you're good at soccer, you should go international. 100%. IHOP is trash. What about IHOP?
IHOP on Cox. For those that don't know, in Cincinnati, there's a street called Cox Road. And there's an IHOP there, which is why it's affectionately known as the IHOP on Cox. So this Inquisition clause allows Paul to take a card out of Patrick's hand with a converted mana cost of 3 or less. It's a discarded Glorybringer, which tells me that Paul has no desire to cast it anytime soon, or the ability to cast it anytime soon.
Yeah, it looks like he has a mom and pop in hand.
But no 4th land. Paul does not have the 4th land, so he's going to flashback to his Lingering Souls.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna resolve. I don't. You're not gonna logic not this for 2, are you?
So what Patrick's doing right now?
I guess he has to.
I guess he is. Wow. So what Patrick is doing right now is he's keeping most of his cards upside down. The cards that are upside down is the cards that he knows that Paul has seen. So that way when he draws a card, it's right side up, which means Paul has not seen that card.
Is this the race to 4 lands?
I have no idea what Sunset Boulevard is.
KFC's. Have you ever been to a KFC with a buffet?
Yes.
Oh.
The secret to that is do not get the original. Get the extra crispy, because that original is just like drowning in grease.
The secret is you sleep there, right? You go as soon in the morning as you can. You take a little break, eat second lunch, then you have first dinner, then second dinner. But also the real trick is you take a chicken bucket, right? And you fill that with soda. If you haven't had chicken bucket soda, you're missing out. KFC is not trash. They have good green beans actually. I like the green
Popeyes
beans.
is better than KFC.
Popeyes is better.
Anyone disagrees with me, I'm going to fight you on that.
Bojangles.
Bojangles is finally coming to Cincinnati.
Bojangles.
I'm really excited about Bojangles.
We used to go on spring break lacrosse trips, so we just drive by Bojangles and everybody's afterwards like, Bojangles. I've never had it. I've never had Bojangles, but I imagine it's great. KFC's great. You should.
Devils, if you're in Arizona, then go to In-N-Out Burger.
Chick-fil-A is amazing. They just have terrible morals.
That's true.
And the fact that they're not open on Sundays is just beyond me.
No, so our stream monkey has committed sacrilege.
I agree. I agree. Matthew, you stand strong.
No. What do you mean? In-N-Out Burger is amazing. Like, In-N-Out Burger is god tier.
They installed a In-N-Out Burger, or they're
putting Steak Shack in Columbus. Shake Shack.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, but like it's different. Like KFC and Popeyes, like I get bone chicken, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is someone watching the match? No, nobody's watching the match. He still hasn't hit a land. Holy cow!
Man.
Holy cow! Holy cow, Paul!
Meanwhile, in the match, Paul not drawing well.
You got it.
Well, balance called soccer. Thank you very much.
I don't know what. Oh, you mean soccer, not football.
Yeah. So we're kind of watching the match. Nothing's really happening. Paul's missing land drops. He's getting.
It's too hard. Catch card's too hard.
He's getting some chip damage in.
You don't have to watch Jake eat his 37 inches of just raw meat.
Second Jake does not suck. It's very underrated, I feel like.
Bone and chicken Popeyes is better. Also, I kind of like the spiciness of Popeyes. So I think Patrick kind of has a stranglehold on this game. Paul has a bunch of these cards, but he's never going to be able to play 2 spells in a turn.
No, that's
if Patrick hits a Damnation or an Anger of the Gods, the game's completely going to turn around. Although he is stuck on 1 red sources.
That's the problem. Like Paul has been missing land.
I like that we got a.
So
I don't know. What's the command for the Rainbow Kappa?
I have no idea.
Kappa Pride. Oh, nice.
So, they just like money, and so they built these buildings where you can get them.
Buffalo Wild Wings is okay. I like Buffalo Wings and Rings too. They're like the same exact
Last time
restaurant.
it's Buffalo Wild Wings, I didn't get chicken.
What did he get?
Cheese curds, corn dogs, and something else. Jesus, we already talked about the IHOB. Keshkar, we are not responsible for maintaining the board state for these players. It's up to the players to maintain responsible board state.
We don't talk about IHOP. I ate at a Hooters like many years ago, and I just can't. It makes me too weirded out.
Whenever, thank you, Mason JD26 for the follow. Appreciate that.
All right, snap back, snap back the damnation.
He hit a land. Oh, this is really important because
See, now he's gonna struggle though because again, he can't play 2 spells a turn.
Take up.
There was a vegetable in my sub.
I think he needs to keep. Is that his Stanful Stroke? I think he just been that his Stanful Stroke. He's got a Cryptic Command. He's got a Tasker and a Bolt, right? I think he's keeping the Tasker because he can just delve and play it for 1 mana. But also, Patrick knows that every card in Paul's hand costs 4 or more. Because he hasn't played a spell.
Yeah. So we have a question from Legend Chaser Red. Is it possible to learn how to play by watching? And does anyone have the new Chandra deck? I mean, you can learn by watching. You'll learn best by actually playing and getting used to actually playing with the cards. Magic the Amateuring has a video series called Magic 101.
Fantastic.
A really good way for you to learn about the game because it's going to be geared towards people who are just getting into the game. So they'll be able to give you the lexicon and the that's right, preferred lexicon.
Yeah.
The lowdown on what you need to do to make sure you get into the game.
One violence. I actually don't know how they get around discriminatory practices with that, to be quite honest. They don't also have to tell you why you weren't qualified to be, and that's a good point. Businesses also can't ask you if you're married, how old you are.
It's all good. Fast turn.
Oh, did he want to delve the Bolt? I guess so.
3 cards in hand. 2 in hand. 4 mana.
So Mom and Pop is
For everyone pointing out again, that thought scour. Players maintaining border state. There was an interaction I missed on Wednesday where I allowed my opponent to cast a disallow with only one blue mana source. What are you doing, making that face?
I have no comment. So again, Paul's going to struggle because his bottleneck right now.
Thank you, Legend Chaser Red, for the follow. Appreciate you tuning in.
Paul's bottleneck again is his mana sources. His deck is chock full of 3, 4, and 5 CMC spells, and he's not going to be able to double spell here.
No.
Patrick can activate Search for Ascana and also hold up another spell the entire rest of the game.
Yep,
all right, so and I guess we're done here then.
Patrick Aguilar able to control out. Paul just really didn't draw the lands he needed to cast his spells on the curve, and as a result, Patrick was under.
Yeah, he had to. Paul had to get early pressure, then backed up by further pressure, if that makes any sense. He just had to disrupt and dodge Damnation. He needed to stick some more threats.
We have a question from Mason.